following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
What's up, Antman?
What's going on, Rox? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a great weekend.
Yeah.
The sun came back out today.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Definitely still Ohio outside, but yet still not Ohio outside.
Exactly, yeah. It's that time of year, huh?
Yeah, you know, we're getting ready to set the clocks back, right? This weekend.
That's ridiculous to me.
So stupid, man. I don't know. I'm just so like ready to. I hope to see some snow this year. My kids are like going without. I'm gonna have to go to like Colorado or something.
Colorado is way nicer than Ohio.
That's what I hear. How's the new shop going, by the way? I wanted to ask you.
The new shop, we're planning to open up early next year. We've got some painting and some renovating to do. Do have a buddy with us today.
Yes.
This is Athena.
What kind of snake is Athena?
She's a pastel highway. So she gets the name because she looks like a road.
Pastel highway, right?
White, black, and yellow.
Wow.
Yes, gorgeous. She's in one of my breeding collections. We're gonna make asphalts. I'm sure you can figure out where that's going, right?
That's That's funny. Oh man, yeah. Like we were talking a little bit before we started the show. Like, you know, I had one really bad scare when I was a kid, and like I was telling you and Joey, I was like, man, you know, like my kids, I don't want them to be like living off of dad's fears. I want them to experience things too. So like I've been slowly getting back to it, you know, like every time we go back to the petting zoo, I'm like, all right, let me see that. All right, let me see that. Like we'll get there.
Nice. Yeah, never expose your fears on others, for sure. Your kids, let them experience life. It's there for themselves and develop what they, you know, their own people, you know.
Right. Absolutely.
So before we move on, I'm going to just touch base again with Standout Serpents. Go check us out at standoutserpents.com on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll be posting soon about how the shop is going with the renovating and all that.
That's awesome.
It's been fun. We were in Nashville over the weekend, and that was a lot of fun. There's so many party buses. They did fire trucks and turn it into like a party wagon and all kinds of, and it was Halloween, so there was like all kinds of hot chicks walking around, you know, in awesome outfits. So
yeah. Hey, you know what? Winning. That's all I can say, man. It was a great time for Halloween and tricks and treats over the weekend. Lots of cool stuff going on all around Ohio for sure.
Definitely, for sure. So tonight is super special for us. I know a lot of our fan base follows Joey Belladonna and all that he's done with his career with Anthrax, being in the big four. Yeah, he needs no introduction at all. He's just that amazing. So we're gonna just go ahead and bring him on. Here is Joey Belladonna.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, Joey? Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, man. Ohio, I hear you guys are at.
Yeah, yes, cold ass Ohio.
Right. I heard you talking about Nashville. I was just there last week.
I was too. Wow.
Just missed you. Wow.
Oh, bummer. Well, we're here now, right? We're connecting now.
Yeah.
Power of the internet.
A little rehearsing. We stayed there for about 8 days. I was there with my Beyond Frontiers Journey tribute that I was putting together, finally getting it solid. So we had a good time rehearsing.
Get nice. When are you looking for the release for that?
We're gonna whenever, we're just putting some clips together and recording. We did some recordings and just the whole gamut, and hopefully when we get that up, we can just put some stuff on the table and start moving it. We only did one gig so far back before COVID, so we just needed to rehearse.
Refresh, re-energize, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really like fine tune everything. And I have Lee Greenwood's band, famous country star. His band is my band out in they all live in Nashville. So
nice. Nashville's beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah, it has such a variety. It's like it's got spice in some areas. It's got pizzazz. It's got.
Went to a football game too there on Sunday, Chiefs and Titans last week.
Oh man, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was great. Well, for the Chiefs, it wasn't so good, and that was a
Right.
kind of big upset for them. But still fun. A lot of fun. We're going to a game.
My team had a big upset too, so I wasn't too happy about that.
Are you a Chiefs fan?
No, I'm a Buccaneers fan, and I got served by the Saints on Sunday. So
Tough loss there for you, right?
oh man, it was brutal. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
I lost too. I'm a Viking fan. We got beat last night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Should have won.
Man,
Oh,
we have some fans in the house here, saying, hey, especially Mark Stapleton. He's in here. He absolutely adores you. So,
oh, thank you.
yeah.
Nice. That's always nice. I appreciate that.
I bet that's enthralling to go places and have fans all over the place that you didn't even know existed, right? Like,
it's amazing what passion and what it brings you to such a wide range of enjoyment of music and what they follow and how they follow it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
So you started out, you were with Dio for a little bit, right? You did some things with Dio, correct?
Which one?
You did some things with Dio. I know you were with his birthday celebration there a while back ago and all that, correct?
Yeah, Anthrax actually, we did a live stream, and then I got asked to come in to do the Ronnie James Dio live stream. They were both in July. They're awesome. Ours was cool as hell. We did 25 songs for that. Hopefully that'll come out on Blu-ray, because people enjoyed it so much. And the Dio thing was amazing. I had such, I don't know, just being a part of doing music from Ronnie and knowing him and just being a big fan of the music. So it was just so good to bang out some really good tunes. I did 5 songs.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's always good to commemorate our legends as we are doing today with you. You're not just Anthrax too. You were telling us a little bit behind the scenes earlier about your Journey tribute band that you do. Can you tell people a little bit about that so they can be informed?
Well, that is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always liked the classic rock, and I have a cover band that I've been doing for 12 to 13 years, playing drums and singing, but I've always wanted to go put a full Journey tribute together. And finally, I ran into a keyboard player that actually has Lee Greenwood's band leader, and I asked him if he would like to put a tribute together with me, and he put a band together, which was really Lee's band at this moment. They play with Lee Greenwood now and playing a long time with him. So it's just been a great thing to be with some great musicians that want to play, the Journey songs with me, and just looking forward to playing it for real, and playing just great music,
Joey, with the pandemic and everything, man, like we always seem to be coming back to the pandemic, but it's impacted so many people. How did you stay busy during the pandemic, and how did you keep your mind in one direction?
Well, I mainly just kind of got myself together and just in the home life, because you're out on the road for so long, packing a bag and running every month. We were just constantly touring. So I got a big switch there, you know. We were kind of shut down totally.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of practicing at home. I've been working at my vocals as much as I can. I track a lot on music, and I just keep myself in shape. And that was one thing. And then of course I did a lot of Zooming, like I am now with you guys, and just kind of stay in touch with people. You know, and I also do some cameo stuff. I do that pretty frequently, and been enjoying that. It's been nice to touch base with people that want a little shout out. As much as it seems strange, it's been quite nice, and I've been having fun with that. And but you know, it's just kind of get myself together again and just kind of regrouping. It's about all I could do. You know, there wasn't any gigging I could do, and eventually some people would start asking me to come play, and I was still hesitant. I haven't done the club thing yet. Just kind of kept away from that at the moment until things kind of get better. Of course, Anthrax has taken off and doing our shows now. We've been doing, you know, fly-in shows, doing all the festivals as much as we can. We got one coming up a couple weeks in Daytona with Metallica. That should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. Welcome to, or what one's that called? Rockville?
Rockville?
Yeah, Rockville.
It's hard to remember the names of the actual, you know, fest itself, you know.
There's so many of them this year, all crammed into one time frame, huh?
Yeah, I just say, yeah, Kentucky, Ohio. Yeah.
So when you say the fly-ins, that's basically what you mean, because you're basically they're a one-night appearance, and then you got to get ready and prep for your next one. That's, you know, maybe on the other side of the states, right?
Yeah, and then it's 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks apart sometimes, you know. Yeah, so it's a little strange. You get going and then you stop. You know.
At least it's not as long as a stop as what COVID was. That was.
No, of course not. I mean, thanks for asking. I mean, I definitely have a lot of hopes for a lot of people to get back on their feet and do something that we used to do, you know, and be able to come together a lot more. I slowly see it happening. I definitely feel good about the fans have been there. I mean, they've been really, really coming out. I mean, there's not a problem about being packed. A lot of these things have been sold out.
Yeah, like the community and everybody around, it just seems that everybody got to a point where they're like, I'm just sick of this. I'm just done. Like, let's get back to it, you know. And Joey, I wanted to give you some love, man, because I remember your episode on Married with Children.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that episode, and I just wanted to say, like, even like to now, it's still one of my favorite episodes of the show. So thanks.
I thought it was cool too. You know, when you look back at it, it was really, I mean, when you watch that show and you watch each episode, that our episode has some really fun stuff to watch. And it was really entertaining, as much as it seemed weird doing it each day, because we started on Monday, and by Friday, you know, actually Thursday we did a walkthrough a little bit, you know, and then Friday we did 2 actual live shows of the same show and just compiled things if things, you know, were a little different or better or worse, you know, that kind of feel. But it was a lot of work, and you had no idea what it was going to look like. And then when you look back at it, it was very entertaining. I had fun.
Nice.
That's
I
awesome.
almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too, until somebody reminds me, or like, hey, your rerun was on. I never ever seen it actually on, like if I turn the TV on and Married with Children was on, I never got to see it like at the moment it came on. It was usually somebody tells me, or it's a rerun, you'll tape it or something, but I've never seen it actually on TV come on.
Yeah.
Caught it at the same time, but
I can remember it now. It's replaying in my head as we speak.
cool.
Really little cat. I was a wee little lad when that came on.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So I gotta ask you, Joey. So you also made some appearances on WWE, on SmackDown, and on SmackDown versus Raw. I have to ask, because I'm kind of a partial wrestling fan, what was that like for you? You know, because you've been playing on stage and doing the show thing and in the band and everything for so long. Like, was it as different as everybody I've talked to that's done it? Was it really that different from what you do every day?
Well, those guys love metal, and I think it's that community of like just people having fun with entertaining and stuff. So we kind of feel like we're in that same boat, and we love the music goes right with it. And I've met so many people that are really in the business like that, and they've invited us to shows, and we've gone to shows, and we've hung out at hotels together and had some good nights. So it's just a nice community.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love it. It's so big.
It is. It really is. It's a community that you never just know where you're at, and you never know who you have in common. Like as far as wrestling goes, and I think it's one of those universal things where you can be somewhere and somebody's talking about it and step right in and be like, "Oh yeah," and John Cena and Roman Reigns. Like you can kind of find a slot in the conversation.
Yeah, it's totally cool. And Jericho's his Fozzy band's been playing a lot of the festivals, so we've been running into each other and hanging out, and we've been good friends. We took those guys on the road with us, and we just hit it off,
Man.
Big time.
Another guy with an incredible voice.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I would like to take some footsteps into the good old days, if you don't mind. I didn't live those days, and I've been totally like, I don't know. I feel like I was born in the wrong era, but those are the days that I follow. When you got started and you were on the New York Strip or the Hollywood Strip, Sunset Strip, and you were out there playing. I want to know some experiences that you went through. I want to live those with you right now, if you don't mind.
That whole scene out there, I think I missed it myself in certain ways. Even though we've came through and played shows, and went to all the places and done some shows there and everything, but we're mainly in the East Coast type vibe. So the West Coast was on on occasion. It wasn't like every being living there, should I say. We weren't living there. So I mean, we saw it all. I just think it was a different scene.
Yeah, I remember Metallica. They started out too with the East Coast, and then they went. But with the Big Four, I want to elaborate on this because you guys had the most authentic, most original voice that there was. With all the bands in that thrash metal scene, all had a different style, and you guys were like, you really dug into it and you developed something of your own. And even your new stuff, you're refreshed and re-energized, and you made something totally great of it. So how do you do that? How do you keep recreating some amazing stuff to keep on the same track that you were on that at the beginning?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I speaking of the Big Four and the whole lineups and that stuff. Yeah, it was really nice to have a different differential type of bands and different sounds and vocals and just the whole aura of it all. I love that part. And then as far as new music and how we've maintained, I think that we just have such a good vision on what we want to sound like and how we just as a group go into a record. I just think it's so fun because there's such great ideas, and we have a wide ability to take on all kinds of things. We're not just stuck in one zone. I think we have a lot to offer. So, and it's just every record you feel like right now. I can't wait to do another one because it's just an adventure. Every song, and you never know what you're going to get too. I mean, we really take our time out. Obviously, it takes us a little longer than most bands sometimes. I think because it's just not that straight ahead thing. There's so much going on to the songs. We just want it to be really, really hot and heavy and strong and everything. Just what we can do to make it.
Like you never left. That's.
Hey man, thank you. Yeah, hey, I always just kind of go in there and just do my thing. I don't really do anything different. It's just I think I'm just as focused as I could possibly be, and I think I'm a lot more relaxed about it. I don't think I seem to worry about it as much as I would before. I just, you do what you do and you just kind of strive for as best you can with a record, You never know.
Yeah, you do never know, but you're doing it well for sure. So I want to touch base with our commenters. Mark says that you're the best. And with Belladonna in 2011, the Basement in Columbus, Ohio, opened for him, and the Man of the Silver Mountain Acoustic played a great tribute band for his friends. So I wanted to let you know. Mark's, and he said somewhere else too, the Big Four reunion was so amazing. So
Thank you.
yeah, we've got lots of people in here chatting about how amazing you are. Somebody was even also enthused that you met Christina Applegate.
Yeah, the whole family this as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Man of Silver Mountain. That every time I hear about that, I always think of Ronnie's funeral, doing that song acoustically, and it was the first time I ever put it together, and uh, it's just it's just a cool version, and it'll always be with me. You know.
Yep, they live in our hearts, don't they?
Yeah.
Joey, with all the bands and everything that you've worked with, when you sit down, like your writing process, like can you walk us through where you I know you can't give us all the secrets, but was just curious, about your writing process when you sit down in your mind, like how you from start to finish, if you don't mind sharing a little bit.
Well, for me, I mean, vocally, I just hear how our things are going, musically when they're handed to me, and I take, obviously the meaning's one thing. Sometimes it's really hard to actually say what the topic is and try to deliver it, the meaning vocally, because obviously you can only express so much. But you get that topic and you get as much emotion as you can, but at the same time, I'm really into finding some great turns with vocals. As much as I can to pull the best stuff out in the song to feature my voice, but the music itself to get a hook. I love a good hook. I love something that can catch you. And where I can actually make the song come to life as much as possible. Obviously certain songs, they're just not set up vocally as good as some other songs. Whether it be the key of the song, whether it be the lyrics, sometimes they're a little bit more hard to find the spots. They're a little more challenging. Obviously, certain ones are really fast, and you're kind of stuck with just kind of sticking with the speed and kicking it out hard. Obviously, Anthrax, we have a lot of fast stuff too. But there's always a up and down turns with the songs, and I try to find the best thing I can with them. And that's one of my main things. But I just love a really strong tune that I can take. You right away when it feels good, you think you have something that's going to be strong. You can almost tell.
That's awesome.
I have a kind of a deep question for you. If you didn't have the music in your life, if you were not part of Anthrax, what would you be following? What passion do you have that you would follow?
Instead of music, huh?
Yep.
Wow. I did sports back in the day. I was actually a goalie in high school. I started as a freshman and I finished as a senior, so I started all 4 years. And I thought maybe I might go semi-pro. I was into it that much, but music was just a strong thing. But I think if I would continue through college and wasn't into music as much, I might have pursued the hockey thing, because I was sports, any kind of sports actually. I could have, I was doing soccer, which they call football now, but at least around here, because I know overseas it's a football, but
yeah,
might have been a kicker, a field goal kicker, or a soccer player. I had that in me. Did 4 years of that too. There's more sports is probably the first thing I would think I'd lean to.
I think we can all agree that we're glad that you went with the musical route for sure.
Yeah, the musical route. Yeah, I was hearing that as I was playing the games. I was the DJ on the bus. I kept everybody, full of music. So
one of our Facebook users, does the band complain about playing 300 beats per minute at this point in life?
No, I think I remember Charlie. We were talking about certain songs. I go, "What would you think? Picking songs." I said, "Do you want to play this one because it's maybe a little less and it's quick? Not as fast." He goes, "No, it's actually the fast one's a lot easier." So fast is not really that fast to us. It's not so much that it's hard to play fast. It's vocally, obviously, it's not as easy sometimes because I got to spit it all out, and I really can't get a lot of nuances as much as I can if something's a little bit less fast, if that makes any sense. But yeah, fast is good too. I mean, I love stuff that's fast, especially if it's really well put together, and then I got some great moments that I can, always trying to find a good catchy part in there so we can keep that song with some great stuff that people can grab a hold to.
I grabbed Belladonna 03 way back in the day.
Hey, that's the demos. I always made the mistake of not saying those were records that I was putting together and ended up just throwing them out there without them really being finished. I should have just put demo on there. So those were really demos. They weren't like even finished at all. Those albums. Everything I think I put out except the very one Belladonna album I did on Mausoleum. That was at the studio, somewhat finished, and even then, those were still all demos. It's just happened to be in a studio. But I'm glad you picked that up. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of it.
It was the year I graduated high school.
Wow.
And I graduated in June, and I believe it came out in like the fall, kind of towards the summertime, if I remember correctly. And it was actually one of the albums I got as a graduation present from one of my family members that's really big into music.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I was like, I was like, wow, this is oh my God. And I went straight to my room and that was it.
That's cool, man. I thank you.
Yeah, my favorite one on the album is One by One.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, it is a cool tune. That was one of those ones I was just getting started with it, and that's how we left it at that point. But yeah, it had some good spots in it. I like that song.
Have you ever thought about some of the old stuff that you have worked on or whatever? I know you've put other stuff back out there. Is there any work that you thought about going back and revisiting?
Oh, I have I got probably 4 or 5 different projects that have really, really cool tunes that are equally as good, if not. And they're just sitting and just waiting to do something with them, and whether I even do it at all. It's just sometimes the people come and go. And then when they're gone, it's like, do I want to pursue it? And then I have to kind of revisit the people. And do they want to finish it? Or, when you find new people, do they want to continue with something old? Or would rather start something new? So you kind of go back and forth. So a lot of times I hate that stuff didn't get finished. A lot of it was just lack of interest or lack of time.
Yeah.
And that's always the hardest part. But it's a shame because there is some really good tunes. I do have some great ideas. I think, at least in my end, I think that they're pretty cool.
Is there anybody that you haven't worked with yet that you want to before you step out?
Oh, well, there's a lot of people it would be nice to work with. That's for sure. I mean, even new people along the way. I just been listening to a lot of instrumental stuff, and there's a lot of great guitar players that I've been digging. Even lately, just working with my guys, the Journey band. I think we could write some really good stuff too, because they're really good musicians, But yeah, there's a wide range of people. It would be nice. I can't think of anybody in particular offhand that I would say specifically work with. It seems like I haven't worked with a lot of people at this point, so I just kind of think that's the destiny of it all. I'm here just kind of passing through time. I did do I did a thing with Triumph not too long ago too. The band Triumph has this project, and I did a song of theirs for a project that's not done yet, but I think you're gonna dig that too. There's a song I did with that project.
Awesome! I can't
Nice.
wait. I'll be watching for that.
Yeah, it's some really good musicians on it too.
We have some more questions from our fans, our listeners, our audience, our family. So, what would you tell a young listener that wants to play?
What would I tell who?
What would you tell a young listener that wants to play? This is by Fury.
Well, I guess, I mean, if you really want to play for a hobby, it's not a bad thing. If it just, you know, if you don't, because a lot of people don't want to get too far involved with traveling and having to put a band together, because I guess you could sit home and do whatever you want. And if you do want to put a band together, just kind of be patient enough to realize that it takes a little time to put something great together and develop a great style and be around people that you want to be around that may or may not want to do it for a long time. A lot of people are they're stuck sometimes with their own life, and they can't find that path of going forward. So hopefully you'll find somebody you want to work with that may take you to where you want to go. I mean, obviously, if you're a great musician, you can play and do a lot of instruments your own and record yourself. But it is nice to work with people that want to play together and, you know, form a band and just be patient enough. And obviously, you can go online now and put music up right away. And obviously, you can get noticed a little sooner if possible. But at the same time, it's nice to get some experience and go out and do some shows and get some lumps and bumps to go with it. You know, until you realize it may or may not want to do it for a living. You know, get some experience. You know, in front of people.
Everybody wants to be a rock star until they gotta carry their own equipment.
Yeah, still doing it. Load up the car, unpack it, put it in, set it up, break it down, put it in the car. My cover band, we do that all the time, and it doesn't change. It's the same thing, and I enjoy it. You know, it's part of it. You know, we're not going to have anybody else do it. So,
Joey, what's one your favorite song that you've done to date? What is your favorite song?
An Anthrax, huh? Well, you know what? I've always loved my first album with Anthrax, The Spreading Disease, just because it was one of those things where I finally actually heard myself in an original band and went, wow, that's what I sound like, you know, for real. I mean, this is like my first, even though I had a band, I was in a band called Bible Black before that. It used to be the Elf, you know, part of the Elf band, Ronnie Dio's band, Rainbow. We did some originals and stuff, but it really wasn't anything yet that I felt that I found myself vocally yet, even though there's great potential there. But when Anthrax came and I did that, you know, Spreading Disease, there was some good stuff. Like Armed and Dangerous, one of my first cuts. I was like, wow, you know, this could be really cool. And I've never heard the music before or of the band. So to find that and hear that for the first time, I was kind of like, okay. I mean, not that I didn't think I could do something well enough at any kind of music, but that hit me right away. And I that was one of my favorite albums, just because of the whole experience and hearing myself and being able to go and do a whole record like just like that without even really rehearsing any of it. Just kind of get in there and start singing.
I wanted to ask you, Joey. So, you know, how kind of going a serious line here real quick. One of my fans of the show, he's not on the show tonight. He actually works third shift, but he asked me to ask you, you know, it's a delicate line between the business and family, and how for so long have you been able to successfully balance those? And what advice do you have for musicians today trying to balance the business and family?
Well, I think, you know, obviously being observant how you take your life in general, just to know what you want to do. And if you can keep yourself in a good healthy spirit and just be focused on what you're doing and really pay attention to one another. I mean, there's so many people out there that can sway you one way or the other. I mean, the band, you have to get along. You have to try to find a happy medium. As far as being home, it's nice to be around and you know, kind of take it easy, but you have to keep working. So you have to be willing to keep going. And when you're on the road, you just can't sit home. You know, you're be on the road. You can't just get back when you want to. I mean, we go out, say for 5 weeks, we're there for 5 weeks, and it's an everyday, it's nonstop. You have to be willing to do that. And some people, I guess, I've had people just say it's not for me while they're out. I always know that it makes it really, you know, it's very important that you pay attention to what you want to do and be honest to people too. Make sure that you're willing to be honest about what you want to do, because sometimes people take you down that path for a while and next thing you know, it's just a waste of time. But I really think that, you know, your home life, you have to pay attention to too. You have to make sure that you're doing everything you can home to keep that going too. It's just a lot of patience, a lot of work. You know, you have to really be willing to keep pushing along and have some sanity, you know, and just keep your eye on the ball and just keep going and don't give up.
Right on. Thank you so much for that question. I appreciate it, and I know he's gonna freak out when I give him the answer. He's like, "You really asked him."
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's good. It's a very good question.
Right.
Yeah, and a phenomenal answer too. It's definitely to stay positive and keep on going for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, we all love when our idols tell us these things, because that gives us that fire and that spark to keep on going for what we want, right?
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that you never know when anybody thinks of how it would be done and what you do to get there. You know, a lot of people think you just hand it off and that's it.
I look at your wall behind you with all the gold records and the Minnesota Vikings football sticker up there too. But all those that you have worked hard for, they weren't given to you. You do have talent, but you actually worked for those, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how long we're at 40 years of anniversary this year.
Amazing.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, when you look back at some of that stuff, that's like a long time right there alone. And that's only a portion of it. There's so much that we've achieved that I'm so proud of, that, you know, even with this type of music that we do, to think that, I mean, we have the fans and the loyal fans that really have given us that opportunity to keep going, you know. And that's why we work hard too. I think that's why the records are so good too, because we just really, really have that passion to give you as much great music as we can, you know.
Go ahead, Roxy.
Go ahead.
I was scrolling through social media earlier today, preparing for tonight's show and stuff. And I always try, to me, it's always fun to see what fans have to say about, you know, such like about Anthrax and about yourself. And I come across a 10-year-old little girl who was covering one of Anthrax's songs, and she's literally guitaring and singing at the same time. I think every bit of 300 beats a minute for sure. If not, like, she was close. She was jamming hard. And I thought of her and I was like, man, even in 2021 and a pandemic, after everything else, like, this music is still influencing, still empowering, still pushing. Like, it was, to me, incredible to see a 10-year-old pick up Anthrax and just jam out, you know, like, you just don't see that kind of stuff these days.
Well, congratulations to her, because I love it when people are that enthusiastic at that age, especially, and the talent to be able to drive that home. Because even at 10, I might have been pretty close to probably jamming in my room with some friends and just trying something, and we probably didn't come that close. You know, nowadays you get I mean, the information is just gold. You know, there's so much how to learn, how to just see how everything's done, and to have that ambition, you know, and pick Anthrax of all bands to learn some songs.
Right.
Thank you. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. I mean, I just seen a girl the other day too. I don't know if she was 11, 10, or 12. She was doing Tom Sawyer on the bass, and it was just like, holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fury just mentioned, you know, I always thank their families for sharing their loved ones with us. Super important to remember they're humans who give us the best of themselves. And everybody has a best of themselves part, right? Everybody. We just got to find that.
Fury is the star for the day for sure. That was a
She
good one
does.
right there.
Yes. Thank you, Fury.
What song was she doing, by the way?
What's that?
Yeah, I was wondering what song the 10-year-old did.
I'm gonna hold on a minute. At an Instagram, I'll pull it up on Instagram. You know what? I will send it to you. I
was just curious.
I will get it, Joey. I will get that, and I will send it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I love to see it. I love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely worth seeing. It's amazing how young somebody can just pop up and just show what they've got going on for them and their talents.
That's one of my favorite things now, to see at shows. The parents, they bring their younger kids that they were fans of a long time ago, and then they bring the kids, and the look on their face, and I mean, God, I mean, it's incredible.
One of the great things about festivals, because festivals, the outdoor environment, you can actually bring your kids to them. It's a little less, you know, it's not as loud as an indoor venue. And the last festival I went to, I got to see an older band that I've seen many times, but sit there and watch. I watched a mother have her children. One of her kids were surfing and got up there, and the band member brought her up on stage, and I was like, wow, this is momentous and it's empowering, and we got to keep this going. Long live rock and roll, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, that's a good thing to see that influence where people have, you know, to spread that love around and bring the kids and build a new fan base. And I mean, there's only one gone in the band, so it's the full band. It's the original lineup, so it's even better. Just you get to see it in full, you know.
It's awesome.
I'm looking for that kid right now. I swear, I'm hunting for that kid. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna get it for sure. It may not be the end of the show, but I will get it to you.
Thanks. What's a memory that lives inside of you always? Like something that's always brought up by some random event, some random image that it lives inside of you.
It's tough. I don't know, you know. That's just, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm trying to think what crosses my mind.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times that something triggers memories, you know. It could be
just sometimes the atmosphere, just the whole, like how the day just kind of brings you light, you know. I just things like that. It's just the whole feeling of just like the air and the sky and just everything around, you know. It's nice. It's just amazing to think that you're here and you just exist, you know. There's, as much as that seems weird, it's just sometimes it is pretty overwhelming, you know.
It's definitely not weird. I think we always take for granted the things that were given to us.
Yeah, it's
like the air and the trees and the sun.
Yeah, it's funny. You look at trees and the sky. I mean, I don't know, just always take it back. I'll bring the dog outside and I'll just look up, just look around, and you just help but think, you know. It's cool, you know.
And feel, think and feel, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it. He's actually 7, and
wow,
he's playing a skeleton in the closet.
Oh, that's a tough one too. Yeah. So it's not a girl or a boy?
Boy.
Yeah, okay. I would say girl, man. She's
Hey,
Wow.
you able to do a share screen? We can play it right now if you want. Are
I
you able to do
think,
that?
yeah.
You just send it to me if that's gonna be too much trouble.
But
Here.
it's the topic of the night, huh?
Wow. Going for a
Um,
deep.
I do have a question while we're figuring that out. Carl asked, as a legend who has played all sorts of events and venues, what advice would you give a promoter looking to advance on a national level?
Promoter. Well, I guess you gotta just know all your surroundings and what your limits are. I suppose what you think what you're getting into, and what it's just really you have to know what you want to do, and maybe take as little risk as you possibly can if you're not certain. I often wonder sometimes. You just don't know when it comes to that. But at the same time, trying to be as fair and keep the fans from coming back. You want the event to be really enjoyable and not just so much just take the money from everybody. You want everybody to have a great experience so that they think, wow, that's so much fun. I can't wait to come back and do that again.
Wow. Great advice, definitely.
Whoa. Found it. There we
Yeah.
go.
I definitely got the video up here. What I'm going to do is it long, Antman? It's only
You give me like two minutes of it. You don't have to go crazy.
It's 4 minutes.
Yeah,
okay,
just
we'll play
send me
this
a
little
link.
snippet.
Send me a link. This way you don't have to take away from the show.
Well, we want to see your reaction for it. I think this is going to
Okay,
be
yeah,
good.
definitely.
So we'll just play a snippet, and then we'll come back to you, and we'll get your reaction. All right, here it is.
Here we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing. It's not even looking at the fretboard.
No, he was looking up at the TV.
Just like it was no big deal. And the guitar is so much bigger than him.
I know.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
not the one I saw.
I wonder where he's from. Did it say where he's from?
That's an interesting question too.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. It looks like it doesn't say. This is his dad posted it, or his dad posted it for him, Matthew Jacob Berg, on YouTube.
Well, we got to just have to send in something to him and say, hey, man, nice job, buddy.
Yeah, he'd probably.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome, man. And that's a funky guitar. I couldn't tell if it was like a BC Rich or something. I have to look at it again.
I'm gonna.
Wow. And he's got the, his little hands.
No, they were
that's
proportion hands.
It's a lot going on there.
I was quite surprised, I will say.
Oh, you have to be.
I know some grown guys who air guitar their best and don't come close to that. That was pretty.
Oh, we can air all day long, but not like that. That's for real. Good for him, man. 7. Holy cow.
I dropped a link in the private chat in our green room. There's a link so you guys can have that.
No, thank you. That's cool. I love it.
I'm also gonna put it in all the comments and all the platforms so everybody can go check that out too, because that kid deserves some love.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, spread the love.
Yeah.
So we have come to the end of our show here.
Okay.
And I love that you were here with us and in our space with us. And I wanted to ask if there's any last advice that you want to give our listeners.
My advice would be just be yourself. Just get along with everybody. Maybe listen a little bit more. Take it light. Just be as calm and cool as you can be. Everything's going to be just fine.
And that you are. That's awesome.
Just
Wow.
be easy, you know. There's no reason to get upset. Take 10 minutes and think about it before you get crazy. You know,
Wow.
it'll be fine. And I appreciate you guys even taking the time out to do this with me. It's been a pleasure, Roxy and Antman. Thank you.
Oh man, Joey, when I found out I normally am professional and I'm like very reserved, but I screamed like a sissy girl right before we got on this. I was like, oh, I just gotta get it out right now.
Don't worry about it. Thank you. I am very honored to have you guys be emotional about it because I don't know anymore. I just kind of go with the flow. You know, you never know. I never take anything for granted. So
you flow good, Joey. You flow good.
Absolutely.
See, it's easy, right? It's nice. It's nice to just kind of let it flow, you know.
And I commend you on all these years, man. Still got a banging hair game. So much love, man.
Thank you guys, and good luck on your end too. And maybe we'll run into each other again sometime soon.
Thank you, sir, so much for your time. It is an honor and privilege to have you share the space with us tonight. Thank you.
Right on there, both of you.
All right, thank you. Make sure everybody, I've been flashing up his website down here below, joeybelladonna.com, and also all of his socials are pretty much at Belladonna, maybe at Belladonna official for I think was it Twitter or something, but
yeah,
everything is very easy to find. So go
Yeah,
check
we
him
made
out.
it as easy as possible.
Go check out Beyond the Band. Go check out his Journey Tribute Band, of course. Check out everything he's done. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's been a legend in all of our eyes. And when you fangirled out, I was calling up my friends. I'm like, guess who I got on the show? Guess who I got on the show?
Yeah.
So we all know you're great. You're amazing. And we appreciate your time with us. So stay amazing, my friend.
Oh, man.
Well, have a great night. And thank you guys so much. And be well and be safe.
All right.
All right.
We'll see everybody next week, Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Good night.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.